Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Woke and Pretty. And I got a good one for you guys today because Min and I are always talking about this. We're always talking about paying the bill. And we literally just talked about your birthday dinners or celebratory dinner when you feel like you got to pay for a lot of people. And I've been through this stuff in my life. And look, as you age out, as you get older, you start to learn you ain't going to certain people's thing. They're not doing it for you. You really want to be fair. But also when it comes to celebratory meals and dinners and things like that, it matters. Like you want to celebrate, but you also know you can't pay for everybody or pay for everybody's expensive, lavish tastes. So in today's episode, I'm going to read this little tidbit for you. This is fresh off the press. Am I the a-hole for not paying a $300 bill for people I didn't even want to be there? So this person's really torn. She really wants advice. And she wants to start off saying that she has an aunt on her dad's side of the family who's 50 years old. And she has 5 kids ranging from 20 years old to 12 years old. She's always been known to be a freeloader and taken advantage of situations and people. One time, me and my dad were planning on going to a drive-in, and my dad stupidly told her, she asked if her kids could be included too. And I was pissed because this happened every time. My dad and I had something fun planned, just me and him. And this is basically a constant thing, right? But anyway, here's the situation. Last week, I wanted to celebrate my little sister from getting her driver's permit. So I invited all of our family to Olive Garden. By that, I mean all of us who live in the same home. I told everyone to clear their schedules for Friday afternoon because I didn't want anyone to feel left out. Well, that's where I messed up because my dad told my aunt and told her she could tag along without telling me. We showed up to Olive Garden at around 4:30, asked for a table of 5, me, my dad, and my 2 sisters and my grandpa. But my dad said if they could make it for a table of 12. I asked why, and that's when he told me. I was pissed, especially because my aunt and my little sister have history, but I didn't think much of it because I wasn't expecting what came up. We're seated, and around 30 minutes later, she shows up with all her kids, so she's late. We eventually order. She kept ordering expensive dishes, lots of drinks, and I was kind of in awe considering she lives off food stamps, which I don't shame anyone who does, but she kept ordering and was like Scrooge McDuck on just another Tuesday. The bill eventually came up and I asked for it to be split. And she said in such a grating voice, "What do you mean split the bill? I thought you were paying for us." And that's when it clicked. She only came for the free effing food. I immediately glared at my dad, who started blaming me, saying, "Why would you offer to pay and then not follow through?" Maybe because I wasn't expecting to pay for another 6 people. I ended up asking the waitress how much it would be because I didn't want to ruin the mood and my little sister's accomplishment. The bill came out to be $557.87. Oh my God, it's a lot of Olive Garden, guys. Excluding what me and my family, which is my dad, my 2 sisters, and my grandpa ate, it would be about $243.68. I outright refused to pay for her and her kids' meals because I felt the 2 of them are still kids, but I never invited her myself, let alone agreed to pay for her bill. Now my dad is calling me an asshole because he had to pay for it with his credit card. I don't believe I did anything wrong, but that's the reason I'm here. Am I the a-hole?
Nope.
I think her dad's the a-hole. He deliberately did not tell her. He knows what his sister's like. He obviously loves his sister. But if she has issues with your wife, and dude, what's wrong with you? There's some edits. You want the edits? This is like today, guys.
Of course we do. Right now.
Okay. Edit number 1. I know I will definitely sound like any other user saying I was not expecting this to blow up, but I truly mean it. Also, sorry for all the grammar spell, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to thank all of you who truly gave me helpful advice, even some words of encouragement. There is quite a few comments, but I'll make sure to go over each and every one of them. There seems to be confusion, so I'll clarify here. Although if y'all need context on something, let me know. She's 18 years old. She doesn't attend college because she's trying to save up and just taking a gap year. Her dad and her aunt have always been close. They were both addicts together, and they both made my mom's life a living nightmare. Some of you suggested that there may be some Sweet Home Alabama type thing going on between them, and I will tell you now it's nothing of the sort. I may say in a few specific things about my aunt, like how she has a grating voice, but most of my hatred towards her comes from how my mom would tell me stories and how my aunt and dad would literally bully my mom, and how one time they left her homeless with me and my 2 sisters being under 3 years old. my little sister being just a few months old. Some of you also said that I was seeking validation to a very obvious dilemma, but everyone around me has turned it on me. Even my grandpa thinks I was wrong for not paying. Some of my friends are even saying I humiliated them because I should have been clear from the start. That's why I decided to ask Reddit. Note, I'm not mad about being told how obvious this may seem. It's just that some people don't know the full extent of the circumstances. I'm already looking for an apartment I can rent out for me and my sisters, and I hate that it's come to this, but I am done with my dad's shenanigans. Wow.
I'm all about setting boundaries this year. And let me tell you, this girl's, I'm sorry. I'm cheering you on, girl. Good for you. That's all I'm saying. And
Wow.
your dad should have recognized how hurtful this would have been for you. Also,
her dad invited them and he deliberately did not tell her. That's the part that I get on. He knew that he was he knew he was manipulating her.
Yeah.
And he clearly has a history of doing it. And he did it to the wife, which they're still together apparently. But he invited her and her 5 kids. And he expected an 18-year-old to pay for them.
No.
Anytime he invites them into anything, he should pay for them.
Also, how inconsiderate. Right. Also, how inconsiderate.
How don't you sort of have the on for freeloading? Why are you ordering all these drinks if you know, like, you're putting it on somebody else just because it's free? Like, you're a jerk.
A little bit.
Both you and oh my God, the siblings. Again, parents, raise your kids right. My God. She better not reimburse her dad. She got to stand up for herself and not be manipulated like her mom is, because her mom is still with him. Wow. Somebody wrote, you should have been clear before ordering about who you were going to pay for. And you need to have a conversation with your dad about what freeloader aunt does. He should be picking up the cost of the extras he invited. And she wrote back and saying, I agree. However, this is also something I should have said in my post. My dad said that she had recently gotten money from Social Security. And I thought that she'd be able to cover her share and most of her kids' share of the bill. But I do realize how dumb it was of me to not make it clear beforehand. Ugh. Next time, just take your sister out.
You shouldn't have had to make it clear beforehand anyways.
I agree. But he invited them and he didn't consult her. She was his guest.
Again, this goes back to like just people being horrible people. I'm sorry.
Let's be real, girl.
Like,
this ain't the first time the dad's done this. This ain't the first time the aunt's done this.
Won't be the last either.
Exactly. She's setting her boundaries. She's 18. She ain't stupid. She's right for trying to move out and use her money. They will probably come to her and ask for money. And this will happen time and time again. But now that she's not paying for them and she's like, whatever, let's move on. Because in families, you will move on. They're not going to do that shit to you no more. No. They're not. 100%. That's crazy. Why are you ordering drinks? You got Social Security. I mean, you got 5 kids, man. 5 kids.
Maybe
next time her dad, next time she invites her dad out, do you think
who's that chick who commented about the other chick about her insurance? Godfrey.
Oh, to get your tubes done.
She needs one of those comments, okay? Auntie needs one of those comments.
I just think that her dad is so used to going past people's boundaries and expecting it to work out for him because he's manipulative. And I think the aunt's also manipulative, and that's what makes them that way. And she putting her foot down is the best thing she could do.
Like I said, boundaries are required, and you are doing you, girl. Can I just, my little tidbit here? I do Chinese New Year every year. I've done it for quite a few years now. My kids get red envelopes. We do a big dinner. I don't have a very big place right now, so I didn't want to make dinner at my place. And so I messaged my brother. I was like, let's, the 4 of us, you, me, and my 2 kids, do Chinese New Year. And he messaged me about a group of friends and asked if we should invite them. I literally wrote him back and was like, no, because I don't want to pay for their dinner.
Whose friends? Which friends?
A mutual friend of my brother's and I.
But you would have to pay for their dinner?
Oh, yeah. There's no way they would be paying for it.
Why?
Because they wouldn't. They would assume that I would be paying for it.
No.
And this is just it. For me, it's honestly, you need to stop assuming that. And this was the same situation that's happening here. Is her dad just assumed, or auntie assumed that she would, no, I'm sorry. No.
Can I just say one thing? I totally glossed over this and I didn't realize it, but somebody wrote this. Wow. Not the a-hole. Your dad invited her, enables her. And if she's going If he's going to do that, he has to pay for her. Make it absolutely clear that this is the way it's going to be. So anytime he pulls his crap again, he's aware that he's on the hook for it. Right? She did that, I think. The second part of it is terrible that your dad wasn't paying for his own daughter's celebration anyway. Fair.
Yeah.
This is triggering to me. This is very triggering to me because I have done so many celebrations and things and paid for things for my family, cousins and whatever, and their parents because I could, but they could too. The fact that he used your social embarrassment to try to get you to go along with everything, from not telling you he invited her until it's in front of everybody, to try to shame you when you say you wouldn't pay, is just awful. This person is absolutely 100% like said it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The fact that he even wanted his sister to freeload off of his daughter and thought that was okay. Like, whose side are you on? Like, why aren't you on your daughter's side? What the hell? Wow. No way. I don't know. I don't know who's worse here, the aunt or the dad. I think
They're
the dad.
both bad in my opinion.
I think the dad.
But honestly, good for you, girl. That's all I'm saying.
Seriously.
Good for you. I would have done the same.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
hashtag
you had even said like, oh yeah. Anyway, good for you.
Hashtag moochers suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's it for today's episode of Woken Pretty Guys. We hope you enjoyed that little tidbit. I want to hear your comments. So please write in what you think. And if you've ever had to experience somebody mooching off of you, because we both have. And I am not letting that happen again. And I am in the midst of it, guys. I am in the midst of it. More to come down the road. Not right now.
I'm just going to say this. If somebody hands you the scissors, girlfriend, you use them.
Yo, I wish I was 18 years old standing up for myself like this girl.
I know. Good for you. Dang.
Seriously, get it, girl. Get it. Get it. But anyway, make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Woke Pretty Podcast. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.